started to like kind of take me places. So it went from there. I wrote the song and then I went back to purchase the beat and the beat was gone. So I was like, oh, fuck.
Damn.
So I went back on there and then I found this beat and I was like, yo, this is even better because it's something about the instrumental of a song that can really set the tone. Like, even if I'm saying the exact same words,
Mhm.
the vibe of the first song was more of a, like, I don't want to say woe is me, but it was a little more emotional. But I feel like this beat is, it takes you there, but it's more empowering. It's like I'm packing up my shit and I'm
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
The other one seemed a little more sad, like, am I going? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going, I'm saying I'm happier without you, but the beat is not saying that I'm happier without you. Where I feel like this one is like, it's more melodic. Is that the word?
Yeah, yeah.
It's more melodic.
No, that makes
And
sense.
it's like, it's like, okay, yeah, I was in a sad space, but you know what? I am happier without you. Like, the little beat in the background,
Mhm.
it gives you that like empowerment. So I was like, I'm definitely fucking with this. And then like when it came to like the chorus of the song, I'm like, I can't sing this. Like, I do harmonize a little bit, or I sing, or I try to do like the Max B singing or like the Drake thing on my songs sometimes. But
Mhm.
I was like, this is a song that I want people to feel. And I feel like I need a voice that can just capture the words and like really give you that feeling of everything that I'm trying to say. Like, I need you to make the song cry. So I had put a post out on Instagram and I'm like, I just wrote a really great song of like, I need a person with an amazing voice. And like, people started DMing me. They're like, I can sing, and I have Marianne on my Instagram. So I was listening to some of Marianne singing, and I'm like, I love your voice, but this is not it. And then I
Mhm.
started looking through like the other singers, and I'm like, this is not it. And Marianne's like, you know what? I got someone for you. She's like, you're gonna love her. And she sent me to your page, and I fell in love with you. I was like, this is her. This is the girl. This is the girl. And then like initially, I can't lie, there was a part of me that was like, I don't know if she'll get the sadness of this song because I don't know if she can relate to it or anything like that. And I was kind of worried. But little girl, literally, you called back and you were like, all right, I got you. Less than 24 hours. Hold on, give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I have to check on this
Okay,
thing.
okay.
Hold on.
I'm loving this. I'm so excited.
But yeah, like literally less than 24 hours, you were like, yep, I got it. You had like the harmonizing, you had the ad libs, you had the whole shebang. And I'm like, oh no, she gets it. Like, she knows singing. Like, this is what she does. Like, she's a singer. Like, for real, for real.
Yeah.
This is not a hobby. This is not just something she's fucking around with. Like, no, she's a singer and she knows what she's doing with it. So I was just so excited. And like, after we had like did the initial mix and we put the song together with my verse and like the chorus,
Mhm.
I literally went home and cried for hours and purged and like, and it's crazy because like I'm in a whole nother relationship now and I'm so happy. Like, I love him so much and he's amazing. And we've never been through any type of abuse or any type of like domestics where he's been disrespectful to me. He's been nothing but respectful.
Right.
But like, I'm crying. I'm like sitting and crying in front of him and he's just looking at me. He's like, okay, get it all out. Like, so, but it's therapeutic, and I needed this because there's like a lot of times that I feel like I never really got to say everything that I wanted to say to like some of the people that I've encountered, in relationships or dated and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like, really wanted to say like, yo, you were a jerk. And I feel like I kind of said it for everybody.
Yeah. I love that. It kind of just like all caught up to you in that moment.
It did.
And then you're like finally over it and you just finally feel free from all of that. And it's just such a
I
good feeling.
do.
Um,
It's
but I like that. It's like a big FU to like everyone who hurt you in the past. Like, I don't know. It's just so special
exactly
and so meaningful. And I know a bunch of people can relate.
right. And
Like,
I wanted to touch base that it's not just like abuse. Like, people think that abuse is just always physical. And
mhm.
it's like this one particular relationship, it was abuse on so many levels. Like, I shared the story on Instagram for the first time the other day because I wanted to give a little background on it. Like, First of all, this guy was like in his mid to late 20s. I was like 17. I was in high school. First of all, it's like the age difference, but like being young, you don't know any better
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. So like first of all, we had the age difference thing going on. Which is, I don't is girl, I'm getting choked up just talking about it.
No, I know.
So there was the age difference. And then on top of that, there was the mental abuse. There was the comparing me to other women. There was making me feel like I wasn't good enough, or making me feel like I wasn't doing enough for the relationship, or if there was anything that I wouldn't do, another woman would do it. And there was that. Then it was like the verbal abuse. Then it was like the sexual abuse, like, I needed to engage in a certain type of manner, or this relationship wasn't what I wanted it to be. There was that. And then the final straw was like he put his hands on me, and I'm like, okay, this is where this is going, huh? Like,
Yeah.
so I'm just glad that I'm not in that relationship anymore. Like, I'm definitely glad for that.
Me too. I'm so happy that you're not in that situation anymore and that you've learned from it and grown from it, and that you said that you're in this relationship now, which seems like it's really good for you. And I'm happy that you've been able to find that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
And I want this for everybody,
for
honestly.
real. For real.
Like, I want this for everybody, but it only comes from like knowledge of self and going through experiences. Like, I always feel like relationships is like, it's like eating pizza. It's like you don't know that you don't like anchovies until you try anchovies, and
Exactly.
you're like, oh, this is not for me. And then you get another pizza. You might get a Hawaiian pizza, and you're like, I don't know if I really like this and this together. But I can deal with the ham, but I can't have the ham and the pineapples
Exactly.
together. So there's like certain personality traits that you might allow, like, oh, he's an alpha, or he's a little aggressive, but he's not aggressive in an abusive manner. He's aggressive in like a assertive manner. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it's like you learn more about yourself in relationships, and even being and not in a relationship, without being in a relationship, once you learn more about yourself, it just brings you closer to the person that's meant to be for you. And even in like friendships, because I noticed the thing about me growing up, like I used to be such a chameleon and like try to hide who I was
Hmm.
in fear of not being accepted by people. So it's just like I kept finding people that were living facades, that were just fake as hell, mean girls and shit like that. But it was like the more I became cool with who I was, the more I found like quirky people, people who like to have fun, people who like, I don't know, fashion, people who like to dance. The
Yeah.
more that I was me, the more it brought me closer to people who were like me. The more I was fake and didn't want to be myself, the more I found other people that were uncomfortable with their self as well. And when you
Hmm.
can't accept yourself, you can't accept others. So, ironically, that's what I was dealing with in relationships too. I wasn't too sure of myself. And like I said, at one point in the song, I said, um, basically, you had control because I gave you control.
Right.
And then when I took the control back, you lost control. So it's like a person can only do as much as you allow them to do. But when you know yourself, you know your surroundings, and you know what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept.
Exactly. I love everything that you're saying. I know that it resonates with a lot of people in here. A lot of people are agreeing with you. I also loved your pizza analogy. Everyone loved that too. But
Thank
it's
you.
definitely meaningful. I know that I'm struggling with that myself, is just like in real life, like trying to be myself. So I have social anxiety. I've talked about it before. So when I'm in like public situations, I try to like mold myself to be this person that everyone's gonna want to be around. And I tend to hide little aspects about myself. But luckily, like I found this space for me here on Spoon. I know this sounds cheesy, but I found this space here with me on Spoon where like I'm able to feel comfortable enough to be myself, and I've met so many awesome people, and it's making a change in my real life. Like when I go out and talk to people, I'm trying to be more of the person that I really am. So I get what you're saying. Like you find the people that are meant to be around you once you start being yourself and loving yourself and really focusing on who you are and what you want around you. So
Right.
that's real.
And you got to think about it. Like, God made you who you are for a reason. You know what I mean? I don't know if anyone's spiritual or religious or what your personal beliefs are, but whether it's God or the universe or whatever you believe in, the universe felt that we needed you. So we don't need you to be anybody else but you. Like, you
Exactly.
are very necessary. What you add to this world is very necessary. And if you were to be like someone else, then we'd have two of those people, and we don't need two of that. We don't need two red crayons.
That's true.
We need the
That's
whole
true.
box. Like, oh, thank you, I love red, but I don't need two red crayons. I need a Kristie crayon, I need a Kiki crayon, I need every crayon. You know what I mean?
You have the best
So,
analogy. For real.
well, thank you. It all comes from teaching. I have to like make it make sense to like toddlers and preschoolers.
It's true though. I love it. And I just want you guys to know, so she asked me to be on this, and I'm just so honored that she asked me to be, because I know that this is so important to her, and she made that clear when she first like brought it up to me. So I didn't go to the first session, so I ended up recording all the vocals at home. One, because of my foot, but two, also because, like I just said, I have social anxiety, and it's really hard for me to record in front of other people, especially if I haven't met them yet and I don't really know the vibes yet. Um, so I recorded everything at home, but I went in for the second session, and I'm so happy that I did, because I got to see the vibe in there. I got to see the energy. And Kiki, like, immediately when I walked into that room, we haven't talked about this. Immediately whenever I walked into that room, I was like, I know I need to be here. Like, I know that she's special. Like, I
Oh,
just felt that
thank
whenever I
you.
walked in. And then
Thank you.
I want you guys to also know that she is amazing. Like, she just like went into the booth and did what she needed to do for another song, and it was on point. And she just sounds amazing. And I can't wait to hear like the finished product of what you were working on. I can't wait to hear everything else that you come out with. I'm so excited for it.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited too, and I'm so glad you were comfortable there. And honestly, I have those same type of social anxieties. And then when it comes to music, it's like you can't express yourself and do exactly what you need on a track if you're feeling uncomfortable. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the reasons why I only record with Robbie Rowland. Like, I only record at Echo Studio. I don't go anywhere else because the vibe is just so right there. Like, I've been going there for years. They're like family. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you heard Robbie, but my daughter grew up in that studio. She can go there. We
Yeah.
there's been times I've brought blankets and slippers with us. Give her the laptop. We
It's just such a
we order
cozy vibe.
food. Exactly. Exactly.
And honestly, it wasn't just you too. So I know Deshaun is in here. I know that Deshaun is in. So I want him to know that it was such a good vibe with them too. So Robbie and Deshaun and everything there, your daughter, like it was just perfect. And then my friend was there and with us too, and I know she loved it too. So if I can get in there with you again, I would love to. I wouldn't.
Yes,
I would do
definitely.
all my
You're
recording.
always welcome. You are always welcome. And I actually, I have to keep in touch with you anyway. I have a show that I'm putting together. It's gonna be May 8th, and it's gonna be from 6 to 11. It's gonna be at the Thelma Burns Building.
Where?
But if you know any artists that would like to come out and perform, or if you
Yes,
yourself would like to come out and perform,
yes, yes,
please
yes, yes.
definitely let me know.
Yes, I will definitely let you know. We can talk after this. But yeah, if any of you guys are in New England or in Boston, you guys should definitely check out her stuff. Come check out her shows, any shows that she has, and the show that she's talking about right now. It'd be cool to see you guys there.
Yes.
But yeah. Um. So, what are you working on? What's next?
So I am finishing up my project. It's called Antisocial Butterfly, which is like a name that I've like deemed myself because like on the surface level, I can kind of like have a conversation with anybody, but like deeper than that, I'm very antisocial, excuse me. It's very hard for me to like maintain deeper relationships because of my social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like definitely I just call myself antisocial butterfly. But on this project, excuse me, project, so yeah, so I have a West Indian background, so sometimes my grandmother comes out in my voice. That was my grandmother busting through. Um, but yeah, so on this project, I feel like I'm giving a lot of myself. It's very deep. I'm going really more into depth about my feelings. Cause like I can do the like, the shake your booty, get
Mm-hmm.
money and all of that type of rap, but I feel like we have a lot of that going on right now. And I feel like the music is kind of like gearing us towards hiding ourselves even more. You know what I mean? Like there's so much music that I feel like sometimes when I listen to it, I'm like, I can't really relate to all of this. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Or it's not really getting in tune with the things that really matter. So I just been sitting back and like using my music as therapy for myself and like uprooting issues and just like getting them out, you know?
I feel you.
So I have a song for my father on there. I have a
Oh,
song for my mom on there. I have a song about I wouldn't say it's so much about religion, but it's just like higher order thinking.
mm-hmm.
I have a song called Preacher that's on there. And then I'm gonna put fake ones on there. I don't think that I'll be able to put it on the EP because of the melody. That's what I was working on when you
Oh,
were
yeah.
there with me.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the melody, I don't think I'll be able to put it on the EP until I get permission. But I'm thinking about just putting that on as like a bonus song and then not putting it on the EP, just having it as a bonus or something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to like read into the business side of things and
Mm-hmm.
figure it out. But I feel like a song about fake friendships is definitely
Yes,
necessary
it
because I think
definitely.
we've all gone through like a situation like that. Like, are
Mm-hmm.
we friends? Like, this is kind of weird. Like,
Yep,
are you not happy for me right now?
exactly.
You know?
And that song was fire. I really like. I loved it, and I love that I was there, like listening to you do it in the moment too.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm excited about that. What are you working on right now? You need like an album or something. Even if you do like a mashup album, like, you
That's
know
a
what I
good
mean, or
idea,
something
actually.
like a mixtape. Like, we don't have a lot of singers do mixtapes. That would be dope.
That's true. I should actually look into that. See what I can do with that. It's I just have a lot of things going on right now. So I have a few different collabs that I'm working on. I have a bunch of originals that I'm like sitting on that I haven't finished yet. So I'm
Mm.
trying to like tackle one thing at a time so that I can get like collabs out of the way and then really focus on at least releasing because before I was releasing one original a month. So I want to get back to that and then eventually put out like a 4 song EP.
Dope.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I actually so on here, if you guys don't know, at night, like late at night, I sing lullabies, and I basically take these like really chill beats and I sing like known like songs, so it's like covers, but it's in like a lullaby like chill style. And John is saying that I should call it a lullaby album and make like a little mixtape of that stuff. So that's something that I might do at some point.
That would be dope. You know what I was doing at one point in time? So I have a niece. She's 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was like putting her to sleep, I started looking up hip hop lullabies.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like Through the Wire by Kanye West. Like, they had like amazing songs on there, like songs you wouldn't even think there was lullabies to. And I'm like, whoa, I like this.
I love
I
that.
like
I need
this.
to hear it.
Yeah. I'm gonna send it to you.
You really
Like,
should.
it's really good. It's like, and it's so calming and soothing.
For real. It's funny because like I'll try to like choose the most challenging song to make it like a calming song. So it's funny to see like if I'm able to do it or not.
Yeah. I love your voice. I
Thank you.
swear I love your voice.
Thank you so much. But yeah.
It's like you hear Kristie's voice and you know everything's gonna be all right. Like,
Thank
you
you.
need to be a news reporter for the coronavirus. Like, everybody would be so chill. Like, nobody
Everybody
would be in a
just
frenzy.
relax, like nothing's gonna
Like, yeah,
happen.
you could die, but you know what? It's gonna be all right
This
because
is
listen
spreading
to
real
Kristie's
fast, but
voice.
don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be okay.
Right. Like, I trust her. It's fine. It's cool.
I'll just sing to the masses.
Right.
But thank you so much. But yeah, unless there's anything that you want to talk about or bring up, does anybody have any questions? Actually, we should open it up to that. Do you guys have any questions for Kiki? If you still have time, Kiki, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, definitely have time.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody.
Oh,
Thank
I
you,
love you
Madison.
too,
I love
Madison.
you
Thank
too.
you.
Get a life. We can't open things like that. We can't click on links like that. Thank you for removing Get a Life. When are you two getting back in the studio? Deshaun.
Who's that? Deshaun D
Yeah.
Snacks? Yes, set it up. I'm with it. I'm
Me
with
too.
it. I,
I'm down.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding?
Yes, Nisi.
So yes, I did teach. I've been teaching since 2013. I stopped teaching last year.
That's awesome. Um, so like what grade did you teach or like how did that work?
I was doing pre-K, and then I also worked for the Children's Defense Fund. So I was working with it's called level 3, but it's like middle school students, where I was doing an integrated reading curriculum with them. So we'll have a list of books, we'll read them, and then we'll do like higher order questionings.
Mhm.
Just it was like a lot of books about real life situations, stuff that they could relate to, and then I had to like work with the curriculum around it.
That's
So,
awesome.
and it's a really dope program. The program, so it's each week has a different theme. And so one theme is I can make a difference in myself, and we'll read like a chapter book that has an issue with the protagonist, just dealing with themselves and learning how to like cope with social
Mhm.
anxieties, things of that nature, how they fit into their family and their community. Then like the next book we'll read will be I Can Make a Difference in My Family. So we'll read a book about a child that has like a family issue. Something's going on with their family, either poverty or abuse from a parent, or it'll be like different situations.
Right.
So it'll be like I can make a difference in my family, and we'll talk about ways that they can make a difference in their family. But we work through the steps. Like first you have to learn how to make a difference in yourself, then you learn how to make a difference in your family. The next book will be I can make a difference in my community, and then we'll talk about like community issues like gang violence, even like trash cans being in neighborhoods and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and what it does to your neighborhood, or what's the difference between this neighborhood and that neighborhood, like things that the children can notice. Then we do I can make a difference in my country. I can make a difference in my world. So each book that we read is like showing how they can make a difference in each facet of their life, you know
That is amazing.
because you're never too young. And we also do social work with them. We had a march down at the state house a few years ago, and our kids actually landed on the cover of the Boston Herald.
Wow.
And it was about Trump taking away the benefits for the elderly and also taking away the SNAP food stamps. But they ended up not taking it away. But they were going to end a lot of programs that help the elderly and help the impoverished.
Wow. That's amazing. We're all here for that curriculum. Like, I don't know if you're reading the chat right now, but
Oh, the
I
name of
was
the program is Children's. I see John's asking. It's
yeah,
called the Children's Defense Fund. It's Children's Defense Fund Freedom Schools.
I wish that I grew up with a curriculum like that. I think that that's so important.
It is. It is. Because I think once you've mastered self, then you can learn how to navigate through life and through society. But a
Mhm.
lot of times it's like we learn how to be sheep in school, or we learn how to like retain information just so we can pass a test, but we
Exactly.
don't really learn how to apply it in the real world.
Right.
And it's funny because like I'll have certain situations like the other day I was talking to my old supervisor, and she was asking me if I could help her out with a project, and I'm like, well, this is what I'm doing from this time to this time, and this time to this time I'm doing this, and I have to be at this place at this time. And I'm like, this is all mathematics though. Like,
Yeah.
it takes me how many minutes to get here, the distance between this place and this place. I'm like, so if I just add up all the calculations, I can figure out if I have the time to do this, if I can squeeze this in, and how long I would be able to do it for.
Mhm.
And like literally that's all it is. It's mathematics, you
Yeah.
know?
True.
And it's like they don't teach you how to like fit that into your real life. And it's funny because like I even do it with my daughter. She's like, well, I can't wear that outfit. I'm like, actually you can, because if you switch these shoes with this shirt, it's not the same outfit anymore. Like,
Different combination.
mm-hmm.
Your daughter is so smart. I love your daughter.
Thank you. Thank you. She is a wonder.
So I
Yeah.
forget what other people were asking you questions. Celestial guy said, "What's your final goal for your music? What would you want your final result to be?"
I want to inspire other musicians. Like, I want to be like that person that's like, oh, I heard Kiki Banks rap. and it made me want to put out this song, like, or it made me want to get in touch with myself, or it made me want to make a difference in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I want to like put out that type of music, and I definitely want to write for other artists, not just myself, because there's sometimes I'm writing rhymes and I'm like, I could probably write for guys, like,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
issues that guys probably go through and they don't really want to talk about, but I see it. I have four brothers and a lot of guy cousins, and my boyfriend, who I'm like always like watching what he goes through in life and stuff like that. So I'm like, I could probably write for dudes.
Yeah.
So I definitely think I want to do that. I just feel like sky's the limit. Sometimes I don't even know what I want to do until like I take that next step.
Exactly.
Like I can't really see what's at the end of the road, but I can see like the yellow brick that's right in front of me.
Yeah, I feel you. Um, Daisy said, "What motivates you to keep going with your music?" And she also asked, "What's your favorite part about making music?"
Um, what motivates me? I feel like that's what I was put here to do. Like there's sometimes that I feel like I'm gonna be quite honest. Like I'm gonna be like really transparent. There's sometimes I feel lost, and there's sometimes like I suffer. Well, no, I don't suffer. I survive and I manage with manic depression.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I'll go into like a really low depression where I'm just like, what is the meaning of life? Like, why am I here?
Yeah.
And then I'll get to this state where I'm just like making music or writing or writing or writing. And I remember being at a point where I was so insecure that I didn't want to share my stuff with anybody except for the people that were close to me. Like, honestly, like, I wasn't even the person who put my first song out. One of my best friends put my work out without telling me.
Wow.
And then she's like, because she just videotaped me. I was at home. I was like playing around. We were on a cell phone, and I did one of my poems. And she was like, "No, just say it for me. I want to keep it. I think it's really cool." And we were just playing around. Like I didn't know she was gonna put it out, and she did. And she's like, "This is the reaction," and she showed it to me. And like because of what I was saying, it made other mothers, it made other women feel like, oh, somebody gets me. Somebody out there feels how I feel. And at that moment, I didn't feel alone. And I felt like, okay, so maybe this is my purpose, because I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes we go through things and we feel too like vulnerable, or we feel like too insecure about our situation to actually reach out for help, or
Mm-hmm.
actually be able to be like, okay, I'm not the only person going through this. So I feel like my biggest motivation is like, this is what you're here to do,
Mm-hmm.
just like work through your issues, and to be transparent, and just like let people see that vulnerable side of you, because we're all human beings. Like no man is an island, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
No, I
and
feel
also
you.
my daughter, definitely my daughter, she's
Yeah.
like fearless. Like
Yeah.
where I fall short, she's like, let's make friends, like where I'm like, I don't know if I want to
No, I
go over
know.
there.
She was like, it was like she like knew me for her whole life. Whenever I walked in there, she like came up to me and started asking me questions. It was just like she was so friendly. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I feel you. I feel like we all kind of need that little push, and I respect the people that do give those pushes. Like for me, the push was my sister to like to really get me singing and to really get me like to put content out on there. And now it's like all of my fans really pushing me and asking me for new stuff, and it's like, yes, I really need to keep working on it because people want that. Um,
Right.
so I feel you on that. Um, Somebody said for sure that's a
Definitely.
purpose.
How long have you been singing?
I've been singing like I started on YouTube. So I started in like 2007,
Nice.
like posting YouTube videos. And then I started making like little videos on Vine when Vine was popular. Um, and then after that, it was just like SoundCloud and Instagram. And then I met my producer, MoFlow Music. Um, and we started putting out originals. So I'm still working on stuff with him, but it's been like an up and down thing for a bunch of years now. But now it's been really like a period of time that I've been focusing on it. So I'm excited
Oh,
for what's
John
to
said,
come.
was there a teacher in your life that helped you get so far? That is a really good question. Um, I think life is one of the greatest teachers, but like as for in school, a teacher, um, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. That's a really good question. You know what's crazy? I growing up, I really hated school. I loved learning, but I hated school. I really had a issue, like a power struggle with authority figures. Um, but I think the teachers that pushed me the most, I had a teacher, Mr. Barry, and he really cared about us, and he was so like aggravating. Like he was very aggravating, but like he wanted the best from us. And I
Mhm.
think that was one of the classes. It was a history class, and I think that was one of the classes that I did the best in middle school because he just expected the most from us. I had another teacher, I had a professor when I went to UMass Boston that I was kind of like a teacher's pet a little bit. I don't remember her name. It's crazy that I don't remember her name. Um, but she cared about what was going on in our personal lives, and she also like always made herself available like after class to help with like assignments and stuff like that. And I did really well in her class. It was the 60s class. It was called Taking It to the Streets, where we learned about the civil rights movement and like things of that nature. So I really liked her class. I always used to sit in the front and ask all the questions and things like that. So like when I wasn't doing that stuff anymore, she noticed that something was wrong. And I think that's what really stood out for me was that it wasn't just about passing the class. It was about my wellness as a whole and was everything okay. And there was a time that I reached out to her and I let her know what was going on and why I had been leaving her class early and stuff like that. And she actually gave me some resources and people that I could reach out to help me with the situation that was going on. So I think that was definitely one of the teachers that stood out the most. I can't think of her last name, but I know her first name was Lynette. I don't know why I remember her first name, but she was like a big help for me.
That's awesome. And I'm so happy that John asked that question because it is really important, the teachers that we have growing up and even later on in life. Um, I definitely had really good experiences with some teachers because I had a hard time in school, especially in high school. Um, but there was a really good guidance counselor, and even though he wasn't a teacher, he was really there for me and really helped me out in school and taught me a lot, and I appreciated that. But
Yeah.
I definitely did better in classes where I got along with the teacher and they were just kind and took the time like to really be one on one with everyone. So I wish I had you as a teacher growing up.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I love children. Like I love children. I feel like I have more patience for children than I do adults because I look at adults like you should know better.
Yeah.
like, I'm like squinting right now and giving the side eye a little bit. Like, there's certain things, but with children, it's like they're so innocent and
Mhm.
everything they do is learned behavior. So it's like I'm a little more understanding and empathetic with children.
Yeah.
And they're like sponges, and it's like as long as you got their attention, they're like with it. As long as you make it fun, and
Mhm.
it's like who doesn't like to have fun? And that's one thing I always tried to like make each lesson that I did like I look at it like a circle. You know what I mean? Like, this part of the puzzle needs to be filled in. This part of the puzzle needs to be filled in. They need to
Mhm.
learn their math. They need to learn their science. They need to learn this. They need to learn that. But how do you make it all fit into this puzzle and like make it fun? Because
Yeah.
once you lose their attention, that's when the behavioral issues come in. It's like they're not being stimulated. They're not interested, and you've lost them. You lost them.
For real.
So I think
I know. I'm learning that with my niece right now. That's how it is with her. Um, can we also talk about how like they cut music programs and art programs out of school and how bad that is and how much we need that growing up?
it's
Like
very necessary.
it really is. Like it's crazy. So I wouldn't consider myself a teacher or a music teacher at all, but when I was in high school, I did this after school program with these kids and I made it into like this little music class. And they were really little. So I didn't really get into music that much, but I had different instruments with me, and there was this one girl that was super shy and she never really socialized with the other kids. But somehow I was able to get her to like play with us and talk with us, and the teacher was so happy after. She was like, "I don't know what you did, but she never talks to anybody, but she was so engaged." And I just think that it can really
Right.
make a difference in a child's life to just have that little outlet with music. And it's sad to know that they
Exactly.
cut that out of a lot of education programs.
So everything in the world is energy. Like they always say, and this is funny because you learn this in school, that energy is neither created nor destroyed. So before we were in human form, and I don't want to get too deep, but
Hmm.
whatever, we're going there. We were energy even before then. So we pick up on frequencies way quicker than anything else. And music is frequency. You know, when you pull a string like a chord in a guitar, when you play the drum, like that's like a heartbeat. Like you can feel the vibrations. Like you can feel
Hmm.
that's why music is so essential. Like a DJ has the power to control the vibe throughout the whole nightclub. They have the power to get you to be really excited or to get you to feel really down. So
Hmm.
it's like once you understand those certain type of vibrations, you can like understand yourself a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And art too. Like every color is associated with a different note. Like the whole do re mi fa sol la ti da, all of those notes correlate with the color in the rainbow. So
Yeah.
like those are all things they don't even teach you in school, and that's why certain like colors give you certain vibrations. When you see that color, you feel a certain type of way when you see it.
Hmm.
Like there's it's not just by chance that the bull sees the color red and they charge at it and they feel aggressive. Like the red is associated with your root chakra, and your root chakra is like basic senses like anger, like the low frequencies.
Hmm.
So like I feel like if they taught more of those things that really mattered, people would understand themselves a little bit more.
Yes, for sure. For sure. And it's a part of our brain. It's like its own separate part of our brain that needs to be stimulated.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm all for music and art programs.
Exactly. It's very necessary. Like we need to be like whole people, not just mathematicians and
Hmm.
like you know what I mean? Like you need to be well rounded,
For real.
you know, and we're lacking that. Everything's so like numbers. Everything's all about numbers now.
Yes.
How many numbers can this get? How much money can it make? How many likes can it get? How many viewers? Or you know what I mean? Like it's not so much about the content anymore. Now they're just like who's putting up numbers, and it's like it's not about that. It's about the whole picture, you know. And people go to school to learn how to do stuff that they don't even like.
Hmm.
Like it's crazy.
It really is. It's sad. But yeah, Rena said, does anyone else have questions for Kiki or Kristie? Where are you guys from? We're from Massachusetts. I'm from Central
Yes,
Mass. Um,
I'm from Boston, Mass.
mhm. Learn how to stand up for themselves and protect ourselves both physically and.
Any self-care tips? Put yourself first. Drink a lot of water. You know, we're 70% water,
Hmm.
so definitely replenish yourself. Get enough sleep.
That's something
Like
that I need
definitely
to
get
work
sleep.
on. But yes, water is important.
Who influenced my flow writing style? So I love Biggie Smalls. I like his cadence. I like his flow, how he's able to switch it up. I like how he breaks down words. I feel like he inspired Jay Z, who also inspired me. I love Lauryn Hill. I love that she was able to like write melodies and songs that you can sing and also raps as well. I like that. Um, who else? I like this. There's a West Indian artist. Her name is Patra, and I liked her growing up. Um, I liked a lot of people. I like the deepness and the depth of Pac. Um, there's so many people that inspired me. I like Eminem. I like Joyner Lucas. Do you guys listen to Joyner Lucas? I like Joyner Lucas. I like Millie's. These two didn't inspire me to rap, but they're definitely two people from Massachusetts that I fucks with
Mhm.
hard now. Like I listen to their music a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, Yeah, the song makes me cry too, Sage. I'm like reading the
Oh,
comments now. Initially, I wasn't reading the comments, but now I'm like looking
yeah.
down. You gotta give Joyner a chance. He's really good.
Oh, Nisi. Yeah, you should definitely listen.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else was an inspiration. I don't know why it's not coming to me right now. It's like when people ask you something and then your mind goes blank, and then
That's how
later
it is for
on
me.
all the answers come.
Yep, that's how it is for me. I suck at being interviewed and answering questions about myself.
Right. The answers all pop out of the
Yeah.
blue. Like, were you looking for me?
And then I think about it later. I'm like, oh, I should have said this.
Right. Yo, you know what else is like that? So have you ever been roasted at school and you're getting picked on? And then when you go home, you think of all these comebacks that you should have said.
You're like in the shower, like
It's like the
yelling at
comeback
them.
song.
Yeah. That's definitely happened to me a bunch of times.
Right. It's funny because I do roasting sessions with my daughter at home.
Mm-hmm.
So like we'll go back and forth and like you look like and what is this? What are those? And like we'll go back and forth like joking on each other. So I'm pretty sure like in that department she's good at
She's good.
school. Yeah, she's like quick with it. And
Yeah,
so
she
it's
is
really
really
funny
quick with
because
it.
Robbie says that all the time too. Like she always has a comeback.
She is. I noticed when I was there, she was quick with it.
Yeah,
Make a like a comeback song for a funny roast. I bet you she would. Would you, Kiki?
I'm with it. I'm with it. You know, it's funny. I have a friend that battle raps, and that's all they do is roast each other in battle raps. And he's like, "I'm gonna sign you up to do Queen of the Ring to battle rap," and I'm like, I don't think I have the balls to do that because
Mm.
I can dish it, but if somebody gives it back to me, and I'm like, "Oh no." She said my mother. Oh. I'm like, no, I'm not that.
What are you guys musical?
So another person said, musical aspirations. I want to write for everyone. I want my music to be like on the theme show of like the bombest television show ever.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be like one of those theme songs that you remember 20 years later, like
Yeah.
smart guy, do, smart guy, or Martin in your business. Martin, I don't know, just something. I want it to be like a theme song that you always remember,
I feel you.
so I can always make some shmoneys off of it.
No, I feel you. That makes sense. Even just for me, like I don't know what it is, but have you seen the show Insecure?
Yes, I haven't.
I.
Okay, so I didn't like watch it like hardcore. I used to watch Awkward Black Girl on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. Now,
Yeah. I love
and
Issa.
it's funny because I just commented on Issa Rae's page. I was just like, "Girl, I used to watch that show like nobody's business," and I ran into her in the club in Atlanta, and
Whoa,
I
that's
have
cool.
videos of it too. But I just like was just watching her, and it took everything in me not to have a fan out moment because she was just in the club, just so chill,
Mm-hmm.
like not a swarm of people, no bodyguards, nothing. She just had like two of her homegirls with her.
Right. She seems like she's like down to earth. Like she wouldn't really do all that. Um.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Issa, and I would love to have one of my songs on her show. Like even if I can just have that like on the soundtrack, that would make me so
Right.
happy.
That would be dope.
Yeah, or even like any HBO show like that. But I really like Insecure, so I love all the music on it and everything. I forget. I think Solange is the one that curates all of those tracks. Um.
Listen, I love Solange.
Mhm.
I love Solange. Her last album, bomb,
Mhm. It was beautiful. I love everything she does. Even like
bomb.
on her Instagram, like all the art, like all the artistic stuff that she does is just
Me
beautiful.
too. She doesn't post as much as I would like her to, but every time she does, it gives me life.
Mhm. It's beautiful. But yeah, just for me, I guess my thing would obviously be to be a professional singer. But I think what's like mainly important to me is to be a songwriter for myself, but also for other people. And I really want to get into songwriting for other artists because I just love writing, and I would love
Yeah.
to like take somebody else. So like so for someone that can't really write, I would love to take their words and whatever scenario they went through, and to be able to put that in a song for them to be able to sing it, that just would make me so happy.
Yeah.
And to do it professionally would just be even better. So that's one of the biggest things for me.
Do you write down your goals?
I do. I did it for the longest time, and now I do. It's kind of like I've been trying to get into manifestation. So
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's why I asked that.
so I haven't actually talked about this. It's funny. So I was watching this video and I like took this girl's tip. So I basically have this notebook that I don't open. I could open it if I wanted to, but in the back of the notebook, I've written down all my goals. And I wrote this back in 2019, but I wrote down all my goals for this year, for 2020, and for years to come, but mainly for 2020. And I haven't gone and looked at it, but I've been just kind of like keeping my mind focused on what I'm doing, but knowing that in the back of my mind, that's what I'm working towards.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you
Yeah, I
have
do
any
the
tips for
same.
that.
That's why this song was so dope for me, because it was like definitely on my to-do list. Like I remember I kept writing it down, like, do the next verse for this song, find
Mhm.
a different beat for the song. Like when the beat got bought, I'm like, find a different beat for the song, find a
Mhm.
singer for the song, record the song. Like,
Mhm.
and it was just like things like, because sometimes like I break down my goals into like subdivisions, like
Mhm.
prioritize it, this needs to happen next, this needs to happen. But it's like it makes me more like on top of things, like, you know, what I need to do, but also like you said, manifestation. I'm like putting it out into the universe,
Yeah.
like this is what I expect for myself, and this is what I want, and this is what I'm working towards.
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
I'm just excited.
And one thing that I've learned recently from my brother-in-law, so something I've always struggled with is time management. So something that really works for me is scheduling everything out to a T, like knowing exactly what I'm going to do from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. Like even like the
Right.
time that it's going to take me to take a shower, or like the time it's going to take me to drive somewhere, whatever. So I write everything down. But something that he told me that a lot of successful people do is write down the first step of a project that you're working on, because a lot of times we have like it's like stressful for us knowing that we have all these things that we need to do, but the way to calm down our mind about it is to write down just the first step that it takes to get that project done, and
Right.
that kind of
And then
calms
it's
you down.
so satisfying.
Yes, because you know, okay, I know that I have to do this and this is the first step and that's what I'm going to do when I get to it. So you don't have to think about it anymore. Like your mind is already working towards it, and you can kind of like lay that to rest while you're focusing on what you need to focus on right now.
Exactly.
Hmm. I'm so happy that we did this.
Me too. You don't even know.
For real.
You don't even know.
So if you guys, welcome everybody. I'm so sorry I haven't really been paying attention to the chat, because I've been paying attention to what Kiki's been saying, because she's been bringing up some awesome points, and really inspiring me. I hope she's inspiring you guys as well. Um, but if you guys can take the time to tap on her picture and give her a follow, because I'm pretty sure
Thank
she's going to
you.
be doing some stuff on here, and I'm excited for that.
Me too. Like I wasn't even hip to Spoon until today. Like you definitely like introduced me to something new.
Yes, I'm so happy that you're here. For real.
Thank you, Nisi. Before I was saying Nesk, like earlier, I don't know if you noticed that. I was like, hey, Nesk.
I say
I
Nisi
know,
because I know
Nisi.
her. So we've been friends. She's been following me. I've been following her, and we're friends on Instagram. And she's been such a huge supporter of mine since my YouTube days. So I always say Nisi because that's how her name is on Instagram.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys are on Instagram, I'm on Instagram as well. My name is life underscore size underscore banks. I'm not sure if you guys saw that movie Life Size with Tyra Banks.
I haven't
That's
seen
my mother.
it. Now I want to
Just
watch
kidding.
it.
It's really good, and they just came out with another one, and it's more updated, and it's like, wow, she looks exactly,
She's
because
beautiful.
in the last like 10, 15 years I've I've aged, and like Tyra Banks has stayed the same.
No, she's beautiful. But she also does have, I'm sure she has a bunch of like skincare stuff. that
Right.
But yeah.
They go to sleep in time machines.
For real.
They don't even sleep in like regular beds.
We need the secret.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about or bring up, but I just wanted to thank you so much for doing this with me. I know it was last minute, but
Thank you. No, it's definitely cool. I always will make time. I will always make time.
yes. We should definitely do this more often if you're down and just like have a topic to talk about and then we can all talk about
I am.
that.
Girl, I can talk. Like, I know my boyfriend's sitting here and he's like, yeah, she can talk. She talks my ear off. So, I don't have like a lot, like a huge amount of friends.
Mm-hmm.
So for the most part, I'm just like in his ear, and then this is my idea, and I was thinking about this, and I think coronavirus is really aliens, and I think the aliens are coming here to take over, and this, that, and the third. Like I'm like chatty patty.
I love it though.
So skincare, water, definitely water. Like yo, my skin is like terrible. My skin breaks out every time I stress out. Like Nisi's asking about skincare secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm sorry, I'm trying to like scroll up and read. But yeah, definitely water. Definitely don't eat as much things that have like artificial flavoring, sugars and stuff like that. I used to have really, really, really bad acne, and then I moved to Dade County, and the sun helped me a lot. Walking and like sweating out the toxins, but also
Mm-hmm.
drinking a lot of water. I didn't drink any soda when I lived out there. I didn't eat junk food, and like when I came back to Boston, my face was like a whole new face. It was like whole new skin. It
No.
was like I had never had skin like this. Like I literally looked like a chocolate chip cookie when I went to Florida, and I came back like the glow up was real.
That's awesome. It's such
So
a feeling.
water.
The same. I
Yeah,
actually
don't
struggled with
smoke.
acne for a long
Meanwhile, I'm smoking a cigarette.
oh, no. Yes, don't smoke.
Yes, don't smoke. I have like the Patty and Selma voice for a reason. It's funny because sometimes I'm like, girl, you want to keep rapping or not? Like, you need to put the cigarettes down or you won't have a voice to rap with, girl. Like, my higher self is like talking to me. But then my lower self is like, cigarettes, instant
Yeah,
gratification. I
that
love
little Kermit
it.
the little Kermit meme.
Right.
But yeah. You guys all had some good points. Heidi had some good points. Yes, Heidi quit
Good
a week
stuff,
ago.
Edie.
I'm so proud of you, Heidi, for real.
Good stuff, Edie.
You guys, we have 10 minutes left in the stream. Welcome, guys. Um,
Oh, yeah, fried foods. Don't do fried foods. Don't do dairy.
yeah.
Definitely. And work out. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I will say though, if none of that works for you, because I know a lot of people they do that and like they still break out, it might be something hormonal. So you should definitely go see a dermatologist if that's the case, because they might be able to help you out in other ways.
Yo, so you literally are what you eat, and I always tell people this: you eat with your eyes, you eat with your ears, you eat with all of your senses. Everything that you put into your body comes out of your body at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for instance, like stress, like I don't really know the science of it, so I can't give you the actual names of what it does, but it produces something that basically produces pimples and stuff like that. So toxins, and it has to come out of your body. So if you're doing things or you're listening to things that put you in a stressful state, that's what's causing that within your body, and it has to come out. Like I know for me, when I'm stressed, like even if I'm eating well or I'm exercising or I'm doing all the things that I need to do, once I'm stressing and I put that type of energy into my body,
Mm-hmm.
that shit comes out all over my face.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel you. We do really need to take care of ourselves. I need to start taking more care of myself. I'm trying. So even if you guys like, I don't know, it's kind of stressful when we kind of fall out of like the good path that we've been going on to get back into it. It's hard sometimes. So if you're like me and like you fell completely off off the wagon and you're trying to get back in, just do one thing at a time. So if it's just like
Exactly.
if it's just drinking water. If you want to start with one thing, start drinking more water every day and make that your one goal. And then once you've made that a habit, start onto the next thing. So start working out 30 minutes a day and drinking more water, and then onto the next and onto the next. So that it's not like all at once. Because if you try everything all at once, it's just going to be too much.
Right. And you won't be consistent with it.
Mm-hmm. Aw, Heidi. I know it's been tough for you, Heidi. Yes. Yeah, I've got such terrible skin. Yeah, Caitlin, I don't know if you saw the advice that Heidi wrote up there, if you heard what Kiki said, but I've lost almost 40 pounds since 2 months ago working out. That's awesome, Sage.
Dope.
Good for you. And that's motivation. I really want to get back into the gym. It's been hard for me because I sprained my foot and I haven't really been able to work out. And the other day, like, I know it's not that big. It's not like I broke my leg or like lost the leg or anything like that, but it still brings you down when you're not able to do the things that you want to do.
You
But
know
the
what
other day,
helps? If you drink a gallon of water a day.
Yes, that's what I've been trying to do. What's up, Luna? Welcome, Luna. This is Kiki. Please follow Kiki. But yeah, just so you know, Kiki, you've been in this live with a bunch of Spoon Legends. Just so that you know.
Hello, Spoonies.
Who's in here?
Hi, Luna.
You should definitely follow Heidi and Luna. Follow Nisi, Origami Cat. What's up, Jeff? Yeah, we have like 6 minutes left. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about? Any more questions? Anything that you want to talk about, Kiki? Welcome to
So I'm
Spoon.
currently washing my hands.
That's something that we all need to be doing.
Right. They're like really doing hand washing lessons on the news.
Like we should
Like,
already
is
know
this
how
what
to.
we're doing right now? So Kristie has homework to do before the next time we get on here again. She
Yeah.
has to learn Tink, treat me like somebody.
Yes.
She has to learn 4-page letter.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget and tweet smoking
Yes.
cigarettes at night.
Please text them to me so that I know and I can learn them because I really want to learn them
Yeah.
for you. So Kristie, about this mixtape, I know I need to work on it. Luna, have you a feature on your phone that tells you how much time you spend on Spoon? I've actually looked at that the other day, and it's crazy how much I'm on my phone now. But it's because I'm usually listening to other people on Spoon or I'm live. So I try to be productive while
Babe,
I'm
I
doing
forgot my
it.
car. I have the thing in the car.
Yeah.
It's funny. So today, my horoscope said something about balancing my personal life and my professional life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so true because my boyfriend, he like hates my phone right now. Like, he just like gives me the evilest eye every time I'm on my phone.
Oh no.
But it's like I'm always like promoting the song or looking up more beats or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I think I definitely need to figure out how to balance that too.
It's
Like,
tough
it's a
though.
difficult.
It's really tough, especially whenever you're an artist trying to promote your stuff and you're trying to like keep up with everything, and it's kind of like expected from us to like always have something to post, or I always have something to say, so
Right.
it's hard to balance that because I like, honestly, I wish that I could just detox from social media, but lately I haven't really been able to because I'm just connecting. I've started Spoon and I'm really trying to do this every day, and so at least one little thing that I did yesterday is I said that I was going to take the day off of Spoon. So at least little things like that. Or
Right.
what I used to do with Instagram, because Instagram is like my number one like addiction, honestly. I'll be on Instagram for a long time. So what I
Oh,
used to
me
do
too.
is I would log off and then I would check it at lunch and like check messages and stuff, and then log off again and then check it a little bit before I went to sleep. And that was like kind of like my detox.
Yeah. For me, I've been like for the past couple years, I was like taking breaks every time. Like honestly, every time I fell into a depression, I would take a break from social network.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized that it made a big difference in like my support because some people's like, oh, she doesn't rap anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, no, no,
Right.
no, I still
I'm
rap.
still
I'm
here.
just going through something. Like, no, don't leave. Come back. I'm just
Right.
going through something. So I'm like, no, girl, just be consistent, push through.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been learning to just be more transparent. And it kind of just like, it makes other people feel more comfortable to like work through some things that's been going on in their lives as well.
Exactly. No, I feel you. But yeah, like if that's ever the case, and like what I said about the spoon thing, I told everyone that I was gonna be taking the day off, just so that they
Right.
know. Cause like I feel bad, cause I know a lot of people come on here to talk. It's funny because like a lot of people on here on Spoon, like we have talked about, they don't really have a group of friends that they go and hang out with, so they come on here to socialize and to talk with people and to listen to people. So if there's someone like that that comes into my streams consistently, I feel bad if I'm not there for them, you know.
Right.
So it's little things like that. But we definitely deserve time off as artists, or in general, everyone. We all deserve time off. We all deserve time for self care and just
Right.
time for just having our own personal space to ourselves.
Right.
Welcome back.
Definitely. So, with that being said, I am going to take a shower and then give my boyfriend some much needed attention.
Well, perfect time. We only have 1 minute left, guys. So, I won't start another live after this, but I'll start another one later on tonight and do lullabies again. But thank you so much, Kiki. I love you so much. Thank you for everything.
I
Thank you
love
for
you
allowing
too.
me to
This
be
has
on
been
it.
amazing.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
for real. Guys, if you haven't already, please go fan Kiki right now and go listen to her music and follow her on Instagram. But yeah,
All right.
all right,
Good
Kiki.
night, you
Have a good
guys.
night.
Bye.
Bye. But guys, I have like 30 seconds left. So yes, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in and always giving me support. Like I said, I won't be going live right after this, but I'll go live in maybe like 2 hours, like 2 to 3 hours. I'll go live to do lullabies. But good night, guys. I love you.